Hello students of Standard 8. We are starting with the next history chapter, that is chapter number 6, Effects of British Rule in India. In the previous chapter of history, we had learned that so many places of India, that is from South India, North India, they were all conquered by the Britishers because of the different policies like subsidiary alliance, divided rule policy, and even annexation policy. And many of the kingdoms were annexed to these policies. In this chapter, we are going to learn about the effects of British rule. So it means by this time the Britishers had started ruling in India. Okay, so that is what we are going to learn. Now the chapter starts with a conversation between Aruna and Purva. Aruna is the mother of Purva and she reads in the newspaper that there is a revolution in Libya. Libya is a country of Africa and years back there was a revolution. So about that she is reading in the newspaper. Purva, who is sitting beside, okay, she is asking that why do people revolt? Revolt means to protest, withdraw karna. So she is asking that why do people of country they revolt? Then Aruna answers that when the needs of the people are not satisfied. Needs means their wants. Okay, when whatever the things people want, if they are not satisfied by the government, then people revolt. And even when they face economic crisis means when there is lack of economy, when the economy slow down, okay, when there is problem of money which is faced by the people, then also they revolt. Okay, because the government has to work for the welfare, for the needs of the people. And when the government is not able to meet the needs, wants of the people, they revolt. That is protest. When people revolted in Libya, in the same way in India also people revolted. Okay, so that is what we are going to learn in the chapter. Okay, here on page number 32, first paragraph, fourth line. In our country also, during the British rule, the condition of people was very bad and resulted in a revolt. Now this resulted in a revolt of 1857. That is what we are going to learn later on. That is the last chapter of this term. So about that also we will learn. Now the chapter starts like this, Now India was a prosperous country till 18th century. Okay, this we have learnt earlier also. Prosperous means the country which is very rich and successful. So India was known as Sone ki Chidiya in all the terms. It was rich, it was prosperous, it was successful. People were influenced by the prosperity as well as the culture of India. And that is the reason people wanted to earn a lot of profit out of it. And that is the reason they started to trade with India. Okay, we have learned that Indian commodities like salt, saltpetre, cotton, muslin, there are so many things which they purchased from here and sold into their England market. Okay, and that is how they earned a lot of profit. So India was very prosperous till 18th century. Okay, now we have learnt about Aurangzeb also. Aurangzeb was the king during whose time there was a downfall of the Mughal Empire. This we had learnt last year also. Okay, now during that time also, after the death of Aurangzeb also, anarchy was there, but it could not weaken the prosperity of the country. Now what is anarchy? We have learnt. Okay, anarchy means disorder, mismanagement. So during the time of Aurangzeb and after his death also, that disorder was there in the kingdom. Okay, but that could not weaken the prosperity. So you can imagine how much prosperity India could be during that time. Okay, so the historians have also accepted, they have admitted that the industries of India during that time, that is small scale industries, cottage industries, these all industries were flourishing. They were earning so much of money out of it, and that is the reason the country was prosperous. Even the production technique, the way the production was done, okay, that was also there, and organization of trade. These all things were unmatched in the world. Unmatched means you cannot compare with any other country. So we were at our best in these fields. Okay, so Indian commodities were made and they were sold also to the foreign countries, and that is how they earn a lot of money out of it. Okay, now India, when we talk about the same India which was very prosperous, which was very rich, which was very successful, where the techniques were unmatched, it became poor and bankrupt. Poor we know. And what is bankrupt? Bankrupt means the country which is unable to pay the debt. Unable to pay debt. That is bankrupt. It did not have money to give the debt. Okay, so it became bankrupt. During almost 200 years of rule of Britishers. See, India was ruled by Indian Rajput kings. Then we had learned that Sultanate era was there. Then Mughal era. And during all those years also, there was no downfall of the prosperity of India. But it was the Britishers during whose time India became poor as well as it became bankrupt. Okay. Now, India became a country who supplied raw materials. You can imagine the condition of India now. The country which was supplying products, it became a supplier of raw materials to England. Now this raw material which was purchased by the Britishers and sold in the England market, the raw material was purchased at a lower rate. Okay. Raw material was purchased from India but at a lower rate. So the traders suffered, and the same product was manufactured there in England. Products were manufactured and the same products were sold here in the Indian market. They were brought here and they were sold. So India became a large market for the finished good which came from England. But this was sold at high price. So see, raw material was taken at lower rate, it was manufactured there, prosperity increased, industries started flourishing there in England, and when it came to selling, they came to Indian market to sell at a higher price. This also affected the business of our Indian people. Okay. Now, let us talk about the next portion, that is condition of peasants and agriculture during the British rule. What do you mean by peasants? Peasants means farmers. Agricultural laborers, they are known as peasants. Now here we have learnt about the condition of the merchants, okay, traders. Here we will learn about the condition of peasants, that is farmers. How was the condition and how the agriculture also affected. Okay. Now, Britishers' income increased after the acquisition of Diwani rights. Diwani right. What is Diwani rights? Diwani rights means to collect taxes on behalf of the emperor of Bengal, Bihar and Orissa. See, it was the emperor who had to collect the revenue, and it was carried on. This method was carried on since ages. But after the Britishers' policy, everything changed. There was a change in the administration also. And what happened? Instead of the emperor, the Britishers started collecting taxes from the people directly. And that was collected from Bengal, Bihar and Orissa. Now this was a very big province from where the Britishers were earning a lot of money. Okay, now see, how was the condition of the peasants? We are doing that. So here what happened? The peasants were exploited to earn more revenue. Okay, now revenue is something which is an income for the king. Okay, in 7th standard also we had learned that 6th part of the cultivation was given to the king in the form of revenue. So the revenue system was still there. Okay, so this revenue, for more revenue the peasants were exploited. They were told to work more on the field so that more yield could be received and through which the revenue could increase. Okay, now because of this what happened? The farmers became poorer and poorer. The condition of the farmers were pathetic during that time. And moreover that what happened? When they were not able to give revenue, what happened? They had to sell off their jewellery. Now jewellery is something which is asset for the people. Okay, whenever in need, the jewellery definitely helps us out to come out of that crisis. Okay, so they had to sell off their jewelry to pay away the revenue. Next, when they did not have money, they took it from the money lenders. So they had to borrow money from the money lenders. Who are money lenders? The people who lend money. Okay, they are known as money lenders. But they definitely ask for the interest amount along with the principal amount. Take for an example, Mr. A is taking rupees 1000 from Mr. B. So he has to return Mr. B again rupees 1000 along with the interest. So Mr. B might tell him to give 500 rupees as the interest. So when Mr. A is giving, he will have to give 1000 rupees plus 500 rupees, that is 1500 rupees. So amount of interest was also highly charged by the money lenders. Okay. Now what happened? Due to this, they were debt trapped. Debt means udhar, trap means jar. So udhari ke jar mein sare farmers फंस गए. And it continued. It is a vicious circle. The farmers could not come out of it. And this is how they became poorer and poorer. They even lost their land. How? When the money lenders used to ask for the money back, they were not in position to give away the money. So the money lenders used to take away their land. So when they were not able to pay money, they lost their land. And this affected the agriculture also. They did not have land, so they could not do cultivation on that. And this is how there was a loss of money as well as land also. And this is all was a vicious circle for the peasants. Okay. There was a famine in 1770. Actually it started in 1769 and it lasted for 4 years. And during this time, it is estimated that 1 crore people died only in Bengal because of famine. People died because of starvation. Starvation means lack of food. So when there was famine we have learnt in the previous chapter that when there is scanty rainfall or no rainfall for 2 to 3 years successively, there is a scarcity of food and water. It is given here in our textbook on page number 32. See, farmers lost their land and agriculture suffered in many regions of India. Moreover, Bengal witnessed a terrible famine in the year 1770 in which lakhs of people died due to starvation. Okay, they died because of the starvation. So this was the condition of the peasants. Okay, now let us learn about the next portion, that is Governor General Lord Cornwallis, who came to India and he started with the Permanent Settlement Act. He enforced this act. Now what is this Permanent Settlement Act? According to this Permanent Settlement Act, the company had fixed the revenue, which was on the annual basis. It means everyone has to give the revenue on annual basis. They will not ask you every month or quarterly. Amount was fixed which everyone has to give at the end of the year. Okay, now what happened? If there was less rainfall, if more rainfall was there, whatever it may be, they had to give the revenue. Now this was a critical situation for the farmers because everything depended on the rain. Okay, but Britishers said that you have to pay revenue whatever condition it may be, if you are in position to grow the crops or not. Okay, so this is how the Britishers fix their revenue on an annual basis. Now what happened? The zamindars were given right to collect the land revenue. Now who are zamindars? Zamindars means landlord. They were Indian. Okay, they were given duty to collect land and revenue from the people. So they thought that they are more important than other people. They thought that they are getting more powers than other people. So they started becoming loyal to the company. That is British East India Company. Now, peasants were exploited in the hot sun to cultivate land as well as to grow crops. Now, the Britishers forcibly told the farmers to grow those crops which had a great demand in England so that they could earn more and more profit. And among that, one was indigo. Now, indigo is such a plant which will spoil the land after its cultivation. Okay, so the farmers did not have good amount also and their land was also infertile because of this. So this is how the condition of peasants during the rule of Britishers is shown. Now let us learn about the effects on social life of the British rule. Social life means samajik jivan. What was the effect of British rule on the society? That we are going to learn. Now see, Warren Hastings, he was made the collector to collect the revenue. And along with the collector, he was also given the duty of being a judge. So the people who could not give the revenue, he could give judgment to them. So he was doing both the duties. He was a collector also of the land revenue, and those who did not pay, he would be either sent to the jail, or many a times farmers were lashed also. Okay, so this type of punishment was given by the people. Now during that time, Britishers destroyed our self-rule, which was since ages in India. Okay, now when we talk about Gram Panchayat was since Indian rulers, Indian Rajput rulers, and that continued during the Sultanate period also. Even that continued during the foreign invaders also. So it was an ancient system which was carried on, but after the arrival of Britishers, it was all destroyed. So Panchayat was not destroyed till the time Sultanate era was there, Mughal era was there. But after the arrival of Britishers, that was destroyed because of their administrative policies. Now let us learn about the social reforms. We had learnt in the 4th chapter that many social reforms were made by the Britishers, like first railway line, 3 universities were started in India. We had also learned that postal system was started by those people. Now after all these reforms, people of India felt insecure about all these things, and they felt that this is all suspicious. Suspicious means doubtful. Okay, so they were doubtful about the reforms made by the Britishers. They thought that the people would be converted into Christianity, so their religion would be changed also. Even they felt that the Indian culture, which has been carried since ages, okay, that would be destroyed, as well as their religion will also be destroyed by the Britishers. And people thought that the Indians were deliberately undermined in railways and military. They were not given very high posts in railways and military. The labor work was given in railways and military. Okay, so people did not like that also. There was an order in Agra also that every Indian has to salute the British. And those who did not salute, it was considered as crime, and for they were punished also. Okay, so like this, all this anger and hatred of the Indian people, that all resulted into revolt of 1857.